Well, I had hoped by this time of the night to be with someone besides you.
Well, you're not exactly my dream date either.
What is our problem? I mean, our mothers think we're cute.
I'm serious. Have you ever stopped to analyze what went wrong again? I mean, why are some people getting into these nice relationships and we always seem to end up frustrated?
Maybe we're saying the wrong things or pushing the wrong buttons. I don't know.
I know. It's like I'm losing my confidence. Sometimes you don't even know what to say to a woman anymore or how to act. I went up to this one woman and we started talking and I thought we were hitting it off. The next thing I know, she's giving me the cold shoulder and then she turns and walks away. I don't know what I did wrong.
I was having a conversation.
You know, that one guy over there, he came over and we talked, and he left and never came back.
Yeah. I gave a guy my phone number, but I'm not going to hold my breath till he calls. I am so sick of guys asking you out, and then you never hear from them again. Why do they do that?
Is it us or is it them?
I don't know.
I mean, why is it that we always seem to attract the guys that we're not interested in? There's one guy wanted to meet, so I smiled at him, and he never came over. I wish I could project my thoughts to him and have some force bring him to me. There's only so much one can do.
Yeah, you don't want to seem too easy or too desperate.
But you don't want to seem too standoffish either.
No, did you see that cute couple that left together? I know they just met tonight.
Sound familiar? Well, we've all gone through that. But do you know that there are ways that each of us, male and female, can improve the way that we go about meeting the person that's right for us? Now, we're not talking about one-night stands or phony pickup lines here. What we're going to show you is a natural way to meet people and hopefully to begin a relationship. We're going to show you vignettes that offer you sound and proven techniques on how to meet people, where to meet people, what to look for in a partner, how to break the ice, how to continue a conversation, how to have a positive connection, and how to have a pleasant first date. You'll also hear new ideas from 6 psychological experts. But please, don't get us wrong. We can't promise you that you'll meet someone and get married next Tuesday. But leave Sunday open.
Well, I've never been into the single scene too much, but because I really dislike it. I've seen it before, and it's not for me at all. I prefer to meet people at work or doing some of the activities I do, things like that.
I usually meet people through friends.
I go running, or I do anything that has to do with sports. Go play racquetball or tennis, go ride my bike. And you can meet guys that way, even if you're not trying to.
Wouldn't it be great if there was some kind of magic potion that you could rub on somebody, make that person instantly attracted to you? Unfortunately, life isn't that way. The right person is out there, I'll guarantee you that. But no amount of hocus pocus is going to make someone magically attracted to you. This is reality we're dealing with, not some script out of Hollywood.
Oh, Don, I'm your biggest fan. I watch you every week. You know, my ex-husband never did like you. Did I mention I'm divorced now?
Judy, you're talking to cardboard.
Yeah, and she's getting more response than I did on my last date.
Oh, yeah? You didn't tell me. Another candidate for a personality transplant?
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
Well, at least you had a date.
Well, you refused to go out.
Look, I'm just tired of the whole scene.
Linda, I think it's time you made an appointment to have your attitude realigned.
Listen, you guys wanted your pictures taken or what?
No, but can I take him home?
I don't think so.
Oh, you must be shattered.
Maybe even devastated.
It's so hard to find a decent man.
It's so hard to find a decent woman who'll give me the time of day.
Oh, I think she likes you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's just playing hard to get, Kenny.
Come on, what's wrong with me? Is it my outfit? Maybe it's my hair. Do you think it's my hair? Maybe it's the fact that I'm stuck in this machine.
Hey, you were the one that promised us we would meet women if we joined this hideously expensive health club.
Yeah.
Well, you have met women, Brad. But of course, none of them measure up to your exceedingly high and probably unattainable standards.
It's not true. Look, I told you, I am just looking for the perfect woman to share my hopes, my dreams, my plans, my schemes, my ups, my downs, my laughs, and my frowns.
Stop that! I mean, even if the perfect woman did come by here and hear you blithering like that, she'd probably Do a 180 and walk right out of your life.
One of the worst possibilities of being single is that panic sets in. Constantly you're asking yourself, am I going to meet the right person? Is this the right person? Is that the right person? And you're always feeling like you're on show and you have to be ready and available. Rather than keeping the focus on, is this the right person? I'm never going to meet him, and panicking, the best thing to do as a single person is to relax and start to do things that you can enjoy in your life. And in doing so, you become more interesting. You fill your time with more enriching activities. You can donate your time to charities, to coaching a little league team, going to classes, enriching your own life. And in doing so, you're having fun along the way, and chances are that you're meeting more people. So instead of focusing on meeting someone, the natural way to meet a right person is to feel comfortable and happy in your own life, and in doing so, you will attract people who are doing the same thing.
Get into new situations. Sounds easy, doesn't it? Then why don't people do it instead of frequenting the same old places with the same types of people? Or even worse, you do nothing at all.
Do you know how many people tell me stories about how they met their mate? Starting off with, it was one of those nights where I just didn't want to go out. And what happens is that the person's guard is down, they're not at their best, and surprisingly enough, they become less guarded and they're more open. And they're not trying to put on the dog, they're just themselves. And when you're not trying that hard, you end up being open to more people. So one suggestion, if you're not feeling that you want to get out of the house, take your hand, put it behind your back, and push yourself out the door. It's not easy, but it's definitely worth it. And one thing you can guarantee is that you're not being isolated. You're connecting with other people, if nothing else.
One recommendation is, believe it or not, that dreaded blind date.
She's gonna be a dog. I just know it. I don't want to do this. Oh, come on. Ring that bell. You're about to meet someone new, and at worst, it'll take an hour of your time. You must be Les Lee.
Hi, you must be Mark.
The truth is that blind dates aren't blind. They're set up for you by people who know you, people who are from your same background, maybe in your same business, or in some way, important way connected with you. And the things that those people have in mind can be a very good list. They may even know something about you that you don't obviously know about yourself. And I think that making connections with people through your friends is probably the best way possible.
Oh, this is ridiculous. I can't do this. I wonder if he noticed if I wasn't here. Come on now, you made a commitment. How bad can he be?
Good show. Get out of my way. I come here to be the chick. Hey, yo. Let's see what we got here. Black jacket, blonde hair follicles. It must be Linda. You got to be Linda. No means guessing who I am. Decided to go with the name tag. Say, so, what you say we down 10, 12 beers? And then maybe we could get something to eat. I might like you better we slept together. I might like you better we slept together. Come on.
What happens when your blind date or the personal ad doesn't work out? It happens now and then. You're not guaranteed when you meet somebody, but if you look at it as one more date, getting closer to meeting that potential mate, then you know if you're getting out there on your blind date or your personal ad, you're meeting somebody else and you're increasing your odds. So don't be discouraged. Keep moving on. It only takes one.
And here are a few more hints. When you leave the house, your odds of meeting someone increase by 100%. The best way of overcoming the fear of rejection is to keep sharing yourself with more people. If it seems everyone else has it made, remember, we're all going through our own struggles.
buddy on a game show.
We were skydiving, I was in the plane, and I met a girl next to me.
I met a man at a political rally.
On a roller coaster. We were both single riders, and I got on, and she was clutching me through the whole ride, so by the end we were pretty close, and I decided I'd ask her out.
As you can see, people can meet people anywhere, but some places are more conducive to meeting the right person. Most experts agree that the best place to meet someone is a place where, ironically, people don't go to meet others. The best place to meet someone, they say, is when two people are there because of a mutual interest in a place or event and happen to be there because of common circumstances.
Our next item is this priceless, authentic replica of an ancient African fertility god. Let's start the bidding at $150, please. I have $150. Can I get $175? I see we have two people bidding for the same object. Can I have $185, please? The same two bidders. $195. $195, going once, twice, sold.
I think it's time we bid this place goodbye. What do you think?
Let's go.
People who don't meet the right person are dating the wrong kind of people. They may be dating a lot of people, but they're all the wrong kind. If you start going to different sorts of places and meeting different kinds of people, you will suddenly start discovering things about yourself that you like about other people, and then you'll have a much better chance of finding that very right person for you.
With the way dating is going nowadays, it's tough to meet somebody because so many people are putting up barriers. They feel restricted to singles bars to have to meet them there, when in effect, meeting another person today comes anytime, anywhere.
Sometimes even the most unlikeliest places can be a meeting ground.
Hey guys, let me ask this one more time. Why in the name of Carl Sandburg are we at a poetry reading?
Since I promised the Binker we'd be here.
Yeah, and where do you know this guy from?
From college.
Yeah, and how long has he been a poet?
Since IBM broomed him last week.
Listen, let's sit in the back row close to the door so we can sneak out
Look,
if we want
they're
to.
all gone.
See, I told you if we didn't get here early, there wouldn't be any good seats left.
Oh, wait a minute. There's some good seats right up front.
Oh, of course there are.
Excuse me, are those seats taken?
Please let them be.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you. Great. Thanks.
Hey, psst. I hear this guy's really good.
Yeah, he ought to be. He's had a whole week's experience already.
I really don't want to be here.
Oh, come on, it might be educational. At least you'll have something interesting to tell your fellow workers tomorrow.
Right.
Besides, what else would you be doing? Watching Moonlighting for the 22nd consecutive Tuesday?
No. Yeah. And you never know, you might meet and fall in love with a great poet.
Clam chowder. Can the river change direction or change seats? Double your pleasure. Double your chin. Be sweet. Be true. Be mine. Be a pepper. She gave me her ring. I gave her a call. She gave me $1 off at Zachary All. Okay, all right.
I've got to get
Take
out of
me.
here.
Shh, come on. Want me. Love me. Love me.
Looks like not all the action is on the stage.
None of the action is on the stage.
Red clam chowder. I feel.
See? It can happen anywhere.
Love, come in.
You can meet people anywhere. There are some very bizarre stories about how potential mates met their husbands or wives. There's no rhyme or reason to it. There's no making sense of it. There's no structures. There's no expectations on the right way to meet somebody. It's simply being open to everyone that you meet, keeping your ears and your eyes open so that when you come into contact with the kind of person that connects with you, you'll be available and you'll be ready. It doesn't matter where you meet them, it's just a matter of being out there and exposing yourself to people.
I was in my car going into Disney World in Florida, and there's a lot of traffic, and there's like 5 or 6 different lanes, and there was this guy in a car beside me, and we did actually go out.
Most unusual place I ever met somebody I went out with was at a roller rink. And I happened to fall right in front of her and she tripped over me.
I was studying jiu-jitsu and learning how to dump men, I mean physically dump them on the ground if they grabbed me, right? And he happened to be my victim that day.
And here are some more hints for you. It's easier to get to know people in small groups. Don't discount unusual, offbeat places or events. Try alternatives to the hunting expedition scene.
If somebody has a nice smile, I will melt.
First is eyes.
Large breasts.
Great fanny.
Blonde hair.
A hairy chest.
I start with the toes and work up from there.
A big nose.
This plane is called a breezy. It's not the fastest plane in the world, nor the most aesthetic looking, but it is interesting and unique. The same thing can be said about you and me. We all have our interesting and unique points of interest that attract us to others.
I wish I could pick up men as easily as I picked up this extra weight.
What do you mean? I thought you were losing weight on your new diet.
I was. Unfortunately, I realized too late that the diet didn't include a cheesecake.
You ate a cheesecake?
Yes, and it's right here.
Oh, you look fine.
Oh, fine isn't good enough. People who look just fine go home alone. I have to look sensational.
All right, you look sensational. Come
I'm
on,
so
let's go.
Fat. No. Well, it's time to suck it in.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi. I'm sorry.
Hey, it's okay. You really have nothing to be sorry about.
Well, I should have been more careful.
Just a slight bump. No damage.
Well, then we don't need to exchange license numbers.
That's funny. Oh, you know, you have a nice smile.
Thank you.
Mark, look at that.
That's incredible. Hey, she's looking at you.
Well, actually, she's not looking at me. She's looking over me.
Well, don't sell yourself so short.
That isn't funny.
No, I'm sorry, you're not short.
Well, I'm shorter than she is.
We'll find out for sure, because she's walking this way.
Yeah.
Catch you later.
Okay.
Hi, excuse me, I just wanted to get to the
sure.
pasta salad, thank you.
Oh, here you go. No problem.
Now, you have beautiful eyes.
Really? Well, thanks.
All of us have good features and we have features we're not so crazy about. But the planet has about 5 billion people on it, and we've been brainwashed into thinking that if we're not one of the beautiful people, then we're not worthy of dating. In actuality, what you're seeing with commercialism is 2% of the beautiful people, and the rest of us are just plain looking. So the beauty comes from within, the enthusiasm comes from within, the energy comes from within. Concentrate on that and don't worry about how you're looking, because how you act is 1,000 times more important.
So what's the problem? Why can't we find the person that we want? Maybe we're too picky. Maybe we have this fantasy person in our minds, a person that we manufactured in our dreams. But this is reality, remember, and in real life, Prince Charming and Sleeping Beauty don't exist.
It's not immature for a person to say, I think I can do better than this person. It is immature if the person is saying that about everybody and can never settle down and can never say, hey, this is a person I really want to have an in-depth relationship with. Basically, in a sense, though, the only immaturity is not knowing what you want.
So what's a person to do?
When you're looking for the right person, the first step is to know what you want. So what I do with my classes is to have each person write down 10 qualities that they absolutely cannot live without for the right mate. After that, cross out 5. Realistically, you're going to end up with 5 priorities. When your expectations are too high and you're so critical, you're going to keep alienated from a good, healthy relationship.
Once you know your criteria, don't revert to your old ways when you rushed into a party and immediately headed for Ms. Gorgeous or Mr. Hunk. Stop. Take a second look. Look for the person who's neither arrogant nor aloof. Look for someone who's sensitive, attentive, and open to meeting others.
There he is. God, he's gorgeous. This one does not, I repeat, does not get away. He looks like a nice guy, and he's actually listening to what that person is saying to him. Hi, I'm Debbie.
Hi, I'm Lonnie. Could you excuse me just for a moment, please?
Hi. How are you?
Hi.
What both sexes need to understand is that most people, men and women, fall in love with the people who are least capable of loving. Women tend to fall in love with the most successful men who, on the average, are the least capable of loving. Men tend to fall in love with the most attractive women who, on the average, are the least capable of loving. And so both sexes end up feeling that they're missing intimacy and are frustrated. If a man wants to meet a woman and he's really interested in intimacy and good communication with a woman, what he needs to do is to look beyond the super attractive woman or the very attractive woman who is the most competed for woman. She tends, on the average, to not develop the ability to take care of herself. She becomes more and more economically dependent on the average. If a woman is open to seeking out a man who is not more successful than she, recognizing that every relationship needs a relationship gatekeeper, that needs somebody who's doing nurturing. And the more successful the woman is, the more she might look to a man who's more of a nurturing type of man. And those men are the great, uncompeted for masses of men, among whom exist some of the most sensitive, caring, nurturing, intimacy-oriented men in the world.
Two types of people our experts tell us to avoid are women who are only out for money and men who spend every minute trying to impress people.
You know, I almost didn't make it to this party because I just flew in from Hong Kong.
And boy, are your arms tired, right?
No, I mean, seriously, I just flew in on a 747. I mean, right up in first class.
What were you doing in Hong Kong?
Well, you see, I'm in the import business. I fly all over the world, and I buy merchandise, and I also buy things for myself. Like when I bought my Mercedes-Benz, I went right to Germany, to the factory, and no, I didn't drive it back. I had it shipped.
Oh, I wasn't going to say that.
You should see my my house. It's furnished with things from all over the world. I'm not even home to enjoy it.
Well, I suppose that's the price you pay for being so successful.
Then it'll be your company someday.
Well, let's not rush it. I don't think my dad would be too thrilled about that.
So where do you live?
I got a place up on Laurelwood.
It's a really nice area. You know, I thought only doctors and lawyers with Jaguars lived in Laurelwood.
Yeah, one guy in construction.
With the Jaguar?
With a BMW, but it's in the shop right now. I see someone over there I want to say hi to. Nice meeting you.
When a woman starts listing external priorities, such as Mercedes, Ferraris, income, and I've heard that. I've heard women say that I won't date a man who doesn't make less than $250,000 a year. She's getting herself in trouble because with that high price, she pays a high price, which is obligation, probably subservience. She is trying to attract to her something that is very dangerous as far as human qualities. Everyone has different feelings about money and the structure. But right now, with men and women relating to each other nowadays, people are suspicious about what does he want from me, what does she want from me. If a man's looking for a beauty contestant and a woman is looking for a Ferrari, I would say, that's what you want, go ahead and find it, and you'll find out that that's not where the real value lies.
And here are a couple of more hints. Know your priorities. Famous last words. He or she is not my type. In a college yearbook study, not one person was singled out as being unattractive. Some of the most available men and women are neither rich, nor powerful, nor beautiful.
Well, Well, somebody ran up to me on the street once and said, you know, I'm dying to meet you, but I don't have an opening line.
I'm in love with you. That is like the worst line.
If someone just came up and said, hello, this is my name, I think I'd like that more than, haven't I met you before?
Haven't I seen you somewhere before? You know, you look just like my ex-wife.
Hey, can I have a picture of you, or would you like to come over and live on my dresser?
Hey, babe. Nice looking growth. I guess that's a no, too.
I can't tell you how many times men have approached me with these artificial and outlandish lines. I'll tell you right now, don't waste your time. Women are turned off by them.
I think setting yourself up with an opening line is real old-style 50s television. You know, it really should come out of what's happening in the circumstance and come out of what's happening within you and what you see in that other person. And if you're set up with whatever opening line it is, it's mechanical. It doesn't work.
I would say that the easiest way to meet somebody, if you're interested, is to take a look at the person, smile, and say hello. And once that happens, the other person is either going to respond or you might get rejected. But you will never know unless you make the first step. And I don't know too many people who are threatened by a smile and a hello.
Actually, you may not realize it, but women give off the first move when it comes to meeting men. They give off a flirting signal.
Welcome to the Ninja Vicky School of Flirting. I'm Ninja Vicky, and today you'll begin your long journey to attaining flirting perfection. If you study diligently, you may be accorded the privilege of wearing the black belt, a privilege few enjoy, but that's a long way off. And men, if you learn to respond to these signs, you'll have a better chance of attaining your black belt, which means you'll have a better chance of meeting someone who wants to meet you. No, there are no questions. The only question is why you are here. And you've already answered that by signing up. Flirting has stayed the same through the ages. All women flirt. Not just fast women, not just the young ones, all women. But very few men can sense when a woman is interested. And those that do pick up on the signals usually end up making some stupid game out of it, thereby ruining any chance of a successful meeting. Okay, are we ready to begin?
Yes, Ninja Vicky.
Okay, women, let's begin with the basics. Look away, look and smile. All right, now let's see you try that. Ready? Look away. You're not looking, you're staring. It's just a fleeting look. All right, come on, now let's try that again. Ready? Look away. Look and smile. Good. All right, that's it. Men, are you watching?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, let's go on. Let's try another. This one is called the hair flip. No relation to a judo flip. All right. The hair flip goes like this. Okay, let's try that. Good. Okay. Now, let's try the head toss. Flip your head backwards so that your face is tilted upwards, then bring it back down to its original position. Okay, now try that, and flip, and no, not that far. Okay, good. Now, bring it back down. Good. Now, once you become experienced, you can combine the head toss with the hair flip. Okay, now let's see you do that. Very nice. Good. Okay. Another gesture is the primp. Adjust an article of your clothing, even if it doesn't need to be adjusted. And if you're feeling really bold, raise your skirt just a little towards the man you're interested in. But if another man starts leering, pull your skirt down. Another is the glass caress. And then the lean in towards the person you're interested in. And then, if you're feeling really bold, and may I have a volunteer? And if all else fails, walk past the man and brush him. Now, some of these may sound a little forward to you, and don't try them if you feel uncomfortable with any of them. But they are more common than you think, and most importantly, they do work. And men, you have a role in this too. Most women are not going to come up and introduce themselves to you. So you have to be observant. Pay attention to the signals. Okay, women, let's try the basic move again. Ready? Look. Look away. Look and smile. And men, what do you do? Amazing. No wonder you people are still single. Man, you have to go over and introduce yourselves to the women. Right. I want you to be accustomed to doing this automatically. Okay? There. That's it. Good. Now you got it.
What I think men need to be aware of is that she has made an initial decision at that point, and then will assess him further on the basis of what he says to her and how he responds to her. So she may change her mind even though she has been signaling him for some period of time, if what he says to her doesn't appeal to her or if he treats her badly. After he has responded to her and given her more information about himself, then it becomes her turn to give a response to him. She, at that point in the courtship phase, has a number of options, and I think a very powerful one is touch. She is usually the first one to touch. And that's a very powerful gesture on her part because it indicates continuing interest.
Even though the woman gives off the first signal, a man has to be careful how he follows up. We've already told you to forget the phony opening line. A man shouldn't be too quick to shower a woman with compliments or even buy her a drink at first sight. Psychologists say he is giving away too much too soon.
Bartender, I'd like to buy this lady a drink, please.
A man has to ask himself, does he want a woman who will tend to be economically dependent upon him? And if he doesn't, then don't offer her a drink. Retain enough security and sense of self that you can just have a conversation and say, or when he does buy a drink, say, this time, can I buy you a drink? Which gives her the cue that they're not going to be bought for her all the time. Now, he will immediately eliminate about 80% of women who want a man to buy a drink. But he will also get for himself the 20% of women who are not interested in men, who go around buying people drinks and therefore are basically giving away the early signal that I'm the type of man who will take care of you economically.
So a woman gives off the first signal and a man must respond. Then why do so many people let the moment slip by?
Neither the man nor the woman should let that magic moment pass by. They shouldn't wait for some or create some opportunity, but trust the moment. Trust that feeling of intimacy that just existed for a moment, but it's real and you trust it. You don't wait for some other excuse to meet.
This is a great piece of work, isn't it? I'm not familiar with the artist, are you?
Well, I've never seen his work before, but I have read about him. He's from Rhode Island, and his work is very rare. I mean, how many times have you seen a glass telephone cord?
Kind of reminds you of a cartoon gone nuts.
Yeah.
I'd love to see a more extensive showing of his work here.
I think they're going to have an exhibition next month. Why don't we ask the general manager?
All right. Then, what do you say to some cappuccino afterward?
Sounds good.
After the initial contact is made, it is the ensuing 90 seconds that sets the stage for what may be the right connection or what may be a misconnection.
Whoa! Clock is running. Oh, what are you doing here? Maybe shopping for Jane Fonda?
No, but look at you. Do you have anything that doesn't require microwaving?
Oh, wait a minute, wait! I'll have you know, Twinkies are meant to be served at room temperature.
Oh, I didn't know.
Oh, yeah.
60 seconds, you're not interested.
No. You know, you may be right. You know how it is with us bachelors. It's obvious I need someone to cook for me. Maybe you're interested, like tonight?
Apparently, Mrs. Paul has already done your cooking.
Should I take that as a no on my offer?
Yes.
Oh.
30 seconds, not much time left.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I got a big screen TV, and they're roasting red buttons tonight.
I don't think so. Can I get by?
Yeah.
Time's up. No points.
I wish sometimes that there were ways that we could make each other respond, men on women and women on men, but this is mutual. It has to be worked together, and there is, I think, no real way to force your partner or even manipulate your partner into responding. It has to be mutual. It's not like a dance where one person is really leading and pushing the other person around. Maybe it should be, but it certainly isn't. So there is no way that a man can force the pace. If he tries, he can run the risk of turning her off totally.
Oops.
Clock is running.
I'm sorry, I wasn't watching where I was going.
That's okay. I think I'll live.
God, I hope I didn't bruise your vegetables. Boy, you do eat healthy.
Yeah, I really try.
You know, see, I should follow your example. Look at this stuff.
Well, it's not so bad.
No, this is embarrassing.
60 seconds. Keep it up.
You know, the problem is, I just don't like this stuff.
Well, maybe you should start out slowly. Say 3 Twinkies to 1 Brussels sprout.
Yeah, well, that's an idea. Now, would I have to eat these all in one sitting, or could I stop to cleanse my palate?
I'll help you find something more appetizing if you'd like.
Okay, if you don't mind.
First down. That's the way to do it.
And a couple of more hints. Every single man would be flattered if a woman took the initiative. Talk directly, don't entertain. Remember first names. Smile and say hello.
I hate the guys that can't stop talking about themselves. And half of what they usually say you can't believe anyway.
I hate women who lead the conversation into how much money you make.
Well, most guys have a hard time taking it past the superficial.
Women want to see a sensitive side to the conversation, and then when you give it to them, they dump you for not being macho.
How many times have you been to a party and heard those sounds of silence? Well, it's not by choice. It's usually because 2 people are not letting things happen naturally. But there are ways to keep a conversation interesting.
Well, so does it really help to talk to your flowers?
Well, I talk to them, yes.
Really?
Sure.
Well, what do you say to them? Like these flowers right here, what would you say to these flowers?
Okay. Well, how do you like the party? Does the smoke inhibit your osmosis? Would you like a drink? Oh, don't just stay there on the table. Come on over here and mingle.
Okay, well, you know, I can see you're very comfortable talking to flowers. How about to a person?
Well, do you like the party? Does the smoke inhibit your osmosis?
Well, you know, osmosis is a very personal thing.
I think the best approach after the initial contact with another person is to just be curious about this other person and find out more about them. It's very flattering to have somebody ask you a question about yourself, and it's not threatening. So the easiest way to get through those first awkward moments is to ask the person a question about themselves, their family situation, where they live, how they decided to move there, have they ever lived anywhere else in the States, what kind of job do they have, is there anything else they'd rather be doing, and get a feel for their response. That way, they start to reveal themselves and they don't feel as on guard.
Actually, there are stages of conversational intimacy that 2 people need to go through before making that connection. The first phase is to ask open-ended, non-embarrassing questions.
Once there's a comfort that the 2 of you are experiencing, then you move to the next level of intimacy. The next level of intimacy might be saying something like, I like that pin on your dress, or I like the type of tie that you're wearing, and that can get you and move you into clothes. The next level of intimacy might be something like, it's really is objectifying the audience, the people around you. It's really hot in here. It's really, the people in here are really talking too loud. Something that you can agree on. Those are bonding types of questions. They're questions that pit you and the person you're talking with against the world.
There really are some interesting people here, aren't there?
Oh, yeah. Did you get a load of that one over there?
Yeah. He's feeling no pain now. He will later. He bumped into me a couple of minutes ago. I almost dropped my shrimp dip.
Yeah, he made a lame sort of pass at me, and I'm afraid I was a little cool.
Well, I don't think you'll even remember, to tell you the truth. Would you like to sit down?
One thing that is almost certainly a conversation enhancer is mutual interest and common ground. But be careful that one person doesn't dominate the conversation.
Yeah, my last trip was safari hunting in Africa, and next month I'm taking a tour to Finland. But the group's a little older, so I probably won't have much fun. But next spring, I'm taking a group of singles on a tour of the Bahamas, and I'm sure I'll get in a little more recreational activity. Then I'm planning
Well, the life
trip
of a
to...
travel agent must be pretty exciting. Excuse me, I've got a friend over here I want to talk to, okay?
I didn't mean to get carried away with my travels.
Have you ever been in a conversation where somebody kept talking and talking and talking? It's boring. And a lively conversation comes from two people sharing information. You don't have any control over whether another person talks a lot or listens a lot. But when you find yourself talking, chances are you're doing it out of nervousness, and you're trying to come up with all this information to impress the other person. Slow down. Take a deep breath, ask the other person a question about themselves, find out what their interests are, their hobbies are, or what it's like to be dating right now. And you'll find that you'll be able to share the conversation on a more equal basis, and you'll learn about them and they'll learn about you, and it won't be boring.
But what if you think that all is lost and the person is about to walk away from you?
Hi, my name's Robert. What's yours?
Cheryl.
This is a really nice party, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's okay. I'm gonna go refresh my drink.
Those are really interesting earrings.
Oh, these?
Mm-hmm.
Why, thank you.
I used a similar design on a sculpture I just finished.
You're a sculptor? Wow, I find that really fascinating.
It's really nice to make a living doing something you enjoy.
You do it professionally? That's great. Hey, aren't you the guy that they wrote an article about in the Sunday paper?
I would advise men to give it one more shot, particularly if they can say something different to the woman than what they've been saying before, because they may change her mind about them. If they're going to continue in the same vein, then it's pointless to continue. But if they think that they can add something new to the conversation, then it's worth another shot.
And here are a few more hints. Don't show off or try to impress. Don't put someone else down in an attempt to make yourself look good. Maintain eye contact. Show interest in what the other person has to say.
If he can't look me in the eye, that tends to tell me that he's not very honest about things.
I get flattered if a woman lets me know she wants to go out.
I like to get to know what a person is all about, and the physical side of a relationship usually comes quite a bit later.
There are ways to tell if two people are interested in each other. And although people have broken speed records in making the connection, it's almost always a slow process.
Great form.
Thank you.
I know some great exercises for working out all these muscles through here.
I think I've got my routine pretty well worked out, thanks.
I think you'd enjoy the exercises I have in mind.
You know, I think my boyfriend taught me those same exercises.
Well, you know what they say, a little variety in your workouts like good spice in your life. Hot.
Hey, I'm here to work out. I am not interested, okay?
Hey, I was just trying to be friendly.
If men had that idea of proceeding, step by step, building intimacy, letting it occur slowly, I think we'd all be a lot better off. One of the problems that men have is that they do run the light. They go too fast. You know, they look at her and they say, and they reach out their hand and they touch her hair or her earring or something like that. 30 seconds after they've met and she pulls back. It's too fast. It's invasion of her body space, of her privacy. And many women are very, very resentful, and I think properly so, of a man who simply invades them.
Geez, how many reps have you done?
I'm on my 4th set.
You know, I know another way of doing them that might be a little bit more effective. It's where you lift your legs straight up instead of bending them.
That's harder.
It's harder, but I think it's more effective. It's great for your stomach muscles. You can probably do it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you seem like you're in pretty good shape. You probably will do it.
Thank you. How long you been here?
Been here like 2 hours.
Been working out hard, it looks like it.
Worked up a sweat.
Me too. So how many days a week do you come?
I'm here like about 3-4 days a week. You?
About 3 days a week.
It's
Yeah.
great for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Makes you feel good.
Hey, would you mind spotting me on the bench press?
Yeah, sure.
Great.
No problem.
The process is called a mating dance, and it consists of 5 separate phases: approach, talk, turn, touch, and synchronize.
When the two people become interested in each other, they begin to turn to face each other. It means that each one of them is focusing more and more on the other person and finding them fascinating. It's a way of building a little enclave of privacy between the two of them. Who does it first? They both do it simultaneously and together. As this whole process is occurring, the two people are doing something that's, to me, absolutely remarkable. It's called body movement synchronization, and it means that the two people are moving absolutely simultaneously. They both reach together, they'll move their hands together, they'll sway or move their bodies together. And it's as if they are really beginning to dance with each other, and it's quite striking and I think very lovely.
I think that it's safer for the man not to touch until the woman does so, because I think women regard touches as very invasive unless it is invited by them.
It is also apparent when one person is not interested in another. Now that may be a little too drastic. Most people are a little more subtle than that.
Women who are not interested any longer orient their bodies away from men. They cease looking at them directly. They often look at the ceiling or look at another person. Their nose particularly tends to come up and away from the man. They pull their bodies away. They begin to answer in very brief, clipped sentences.
So what to do when facing someone you know is out of your ballpark, so to speak? Someone so gorgeous or handsome you could melt.
Hi, I'm Peggy.
Oh, hi, I'm Lonnie. Excuse me for a second, would you please?
The person who's doing the approaching should, generally speaking, create something that's on that person's turf. Because the person who's doing the approaching, whether it's the woman or the man, is in the powerless position. And if you do something that's on your turf, that evens off the power.
Hi, I'm Peggy.
Oh, hi, I'm Lonnie.
I couldn't help but overhear about the money you won at the horse races last week. Do you like horses?
Actually, I like sports. I just happened to invest in a racehorse with 5 other friends, and we won a race last week.
Oh, great.
Do you like horses?
Oh, I love them. I ride at least 3 times a week, and I play polo every other Saturday night.
That's great.
If you're at a party and you're talking with a fellow and you're afraid that he's only interested in your looks and you don't have the looks to compete, start to reveal yourself. Reveal the qualities of warmth, of humor, of being intelligent, simply by having a conversation where those things come up. You're going to have to take hold of the conversation. You're going to have to direct the conversation. You may think that it sounds like you're bragging, but you're not. You're just revealing yourself. You're sharing yourself as a human being, and that couldn't be more flattering or more of a turn-on to the right kind of man.
Until some of the strongest parts of his hand have been shown, he shouldn't give up if he's really interested. Once the strongest parts of his hand have been shown, and he's still getting eye contact of, she's looking bored or she's looking somewhere else, then give up and get out.
And here are a few more hints for you. Never assume that you know what the other person is thinking or feeling. Don't flirt with others while talking to one person. If not comfortable with the person, move on. Don't give up until after your strength has been shown.
I kind of like it when people keep a kind of a distance on a first date, because you're still getting to know each other.
If it's going good mentally and we're communicating well, then I would kiss her on first date.
Holding hands and stuff, that's fine on the first date, but if he starts attacking me, that's a little out of line.
There's no hard and fast rules for dating. There's no specific point in a first meeting when one should ask someone out on a date. This is played by instinct.
Hi.
What do you think of Ninja Vicky's flirting class?
Well, I've been practicing my hair flip, but once my fingers got stuck. Too much mousse, I guess, you know.
Well, I've been trying to pay more attention to women's signals, but I've had a tough time knowing when to follow up. I guess I need to work on that.
Didn't I see you at that poetry reading? Wasn't that guy a piece of work? I mean, who was he? I haven't seen or heard of anything like that drivel in my life. I can't believe I went to that. What were you doing there?
The poet was a friend of mine.
Oh, well, I guess he wasn't that bad.
No, he was pretty bad.
No, he was just, you know, different.
That's what IBM thought.
Well, I think I have all the food I need. Oh, okay. It was really nice talking to you.
Oh, wait, let me fill up my plate and I'll come sit with you.
Okay. Maybe we can try and guess which one will do the hair flip.
Yeah, I think that blonde over there.
You're on. I think it's the woman in the red dress.
Really?
Oh, tell me where the answer lies. Is it in her kiss, or is it in his eye? It's a lover's question I'd like to know.
Well, if you're not busy next Monday for lunch, I'd really like to take you to this new restaurant. It's really great, and the world hasn't found out about it yet.
That would be great. I'd like that.
Great.
Now that a first date has been set up, where to go? Psychologists recommend a place that doesn't put romantic pressure on both parties.
You know, I've never been on a date before in a gym. I don't know anything about these machines. Or you.
Well, I'll demonstrate how to use the machine, and we'll talk about me later.
I've never sweat so much on a first date before. This was really a good idea, you know?
Yeah, you're a pretty good player.
Thanks.
I think I need lessons, though.
You know, I could teach you. How about next Saturday?
Sounds great.
I recommend for people who are going out on their first, second, or third date to find an activity that draws the focus away from the how am I doing, how's he doing syndrome. For instance, ice skating, taking a bike ride, going to a football game, something where two people can enjoy an activity and they aren't worried about what's going on between the two of them. I also recommend not going out on a Saturday night for the first date because you're immediately put into a romantic situation. You're sitting there with a person that you hardly know with candlelight and wine, and the pressure is on because how am I doing, how's he doing says what's going to happen at the end of the night. It's premature. The romance hasn't started yet. The flirtation has, but it gets you distracted from really getting to know the other person.
I'll have the Goddess Diana salad.
4.9, a trendy. She probably read it was Lady Di's favorite. You know something funny?
I know at least one thing funny. Oh, 3.6 for that one. He'll think I'm mocking him or making fun of his question.
The salad you're ordering.
What if your first date didn't go so well? Fireworks didn't go off, bells didn't ring. Should you see that person again?
If you're out on a first date, and if you're not turned off with that person, to definitely go out for a second and a third time. Over a period of time, once you get to know someone, a lot of the awkwardness falls away. Many people are shy, many people are uptight, and they're protective. The signs are basically, if you want to have a second date, that you're feeling comfortable, that you're having fun, that you're excited about being with the other person. And you can feel that those signs are happening through eye contact and through basically, if I'm feeling comfortable, chances are that the other person is feeling comfortable as well.
And a few more hints. Stay away from discussing past relationships. Relax, enjoy yourself, and try to make a new friend. See beyond another person's shortcomings. Everyone is nervous on the first date. A good attitude always brings out the best in people. What does it all come down to? What do we all want?
Honesty, confidence. Attractiveness is not that important if she knows what she's about and she likes what she is.
Honesty, sensitivity, sense of humor.
Down-to-earthness and being a real person, not into all the glamour and money and fast cars, just being yourself.
When I see someone who I can tell is very intelligent or creative or vivacious and in control and has a lot of personality.
Each of us has our own criteria for our potential right partner, and there are probably thousands of people out there who fit our lists.
If you step out from behind your closed door and you start getting involved in life, you're going to be exposing yourself to situations that you'll get rewarded with. And make sure that you have fun in the process. If that's your goal, then you can't help but start to meet the right people in the natural way.
If someone is open, that's the person you should be drawn to. And if someone is closed, it is not your duty in life to try and change them, no matter how attractive they may be. And remember one more thing. For all the energy that you're putting out trying to find the right person, there's a person out there putting out just as much energy trying to find you. Good luck.
Forget those phony lies. Don't worry how to play. Put the games aside and do it the natural way. Don't need no love potions. Cupid will assist. Just follow your heart. How can you miss? So do it. Oh yeah. The natural way. If you don't take a chance, you'll never find true romance. Do it. Oh yeah. The natural way. The natural way. How can you tell someone likes you? You'll never know till you try. Don't be a fool. If you don't take a chance, you'll never find romance. Listen to my golden rule. How can you tell someone likes you? How can you tell? You never know till you try. So don't be a fool. If you don't take